So because of the county's negative cash flow position, we're going to transfer, or are recommending transferring $3 million into the general fund from the COVID money to use not for spending, but for the purpose of balancing out so that we're not running into negative and using other funds. Then the last two items, economic development.
Was there anybody out there?
Nope. So the last two things, economic development. So everything for this COVID money has to be, outside of the items that I highlighted for you, have to be forward-looking to be spent on. So economic development is one of the areas. If we prepay our contribution to the SCDP for the next couple of years, what that will do is free up that money in our budget to spend on other things, which will therefore both provide the economic development opportunity that it is meant for, but also open it up in our general fund so that we can use it to pay other obligations, perhaps MERS, other things of that nature, and take that burden off of the general fund. And then the last one included in that is prepaying certain services. So I would also suggest prepaying some of our retainer fees, such as for the county attorney. That way we don't have those in the general fund either, because those are also eligible expenses. So based on that, you have your recommended motion in front of you.
And you and Tracy have.
Tracy has gone through all of this. All of it was vetted by legal counsel. Everyone has reviewed it.
All right, so I will make a motion that we approve the first proposal for use of the ARPA money. That will include the following: COVID hazard pay for county employees, budget stabilization plan, economic development, prosecutor case management plan, and county legal services.
Support.
We have a motion and a support, either one you want to pick.
Ladies first.
Discussion, to Marlene. Discussion, I think we've had our discussion, so we want to have more?
Still leaves a lot of money, yeah. Any ideas for other ideas?
I think Dr. Bugs and Tracy you're trying to earmark some things, point us in some
You said it's
directions.
fairly relatively restricted.
It is relatively restricted, but as I showed you in that other memo, there are certain things that it can be used for. And so we'll have other recommendations coming forward in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I believe with that loss of revenue that Maynard put together for us, being at 6.4, yeah, that'll free up a lot too. If there is a need or we feel we want to go to pensions, if we want, those are stuff we can't do with their money, but with it being unrestricted, we can use it on pensions, maybe pay down some pension costs. And,
I thought you couldn't pay on pensions.
But it'll become unrestricted because the loss of revenue we had was 6.4 million. We had Maynard calculate our loss of revenue, what we would have had during COVID. So anything that you can count as lost revenue, you can supplement this money in there for that.
Okay.
So we're
There's just a special way to do it.
It was like kind of what you referenced the other day about bringing it in and taking it out.
And to be clear, I think I know the answer. This money, if you don't spend it in 2 or whatever years, it goes back.
It's not spent
It's
by
not local money.
2024.
This is federal money.
That's right.
Biden
This is
bucks.
all Biden bucks. So by 2024, if it's not spent, it goes back.
It's all freshly
We can't
printed.
send it.
Well, on top of that, next year you will also be able to do a lost revenue calculation again on the next.
I don't know where it comes
Are
from.
they asking for an itemized, like they want to know where we spent it?
It will
report
be,
to them?
it is reported quarterly.
So Tracy has a contact person, is similar to the CARES money, correct? That same process?
Yep, exactly. Tracy is set up as the accountant of record, a financial person. I'm oversight, Jeremy's the chair, and then I picked, it might have been Scott or Dan Neese, one of the two, to sign off as the last outside person to be the.
So she has that person that she, sort of semi-approves this, the CARES money.
So like CARES, I feel like with CARES we did a lot of, we're going to spend it on this, and then we waited a couple weeks and they were like, no, no, no. I mean, are we doing the delay of sending it, then they tell us yes,
Nope.
yes, yes, or are we?
No,
So what happens if
already-
we spend and then they say no, no, no?
You just take it out of the unrestricted amount that comes back in for lost revenue.
But everything identified here though has been covered and is.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not in any worry there. But
Well, and it's been a burden on Tracy this whole time, but this money, the CARES money, there's a lot
There's a lot of
to
reporting.
that.
And I will add that that is one reason I had an outside firm do the evaluation of the lost revenue calculation. So it was not just Tracy and myself calculating what the lost revenue was, that we had an additional set of eyes doing the calculations. And Maynard and Castarian are doing the calculations for several counties, cities, townships, and school districts all over the state to provide them with this information. So that packet that is attached there will be submitted with this stuff in the first quarter report.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a motion.
yep, there's a motion on the floor. Anything further, any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes,
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Grover excused, Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks.
Yes.
Chairman Root.
Yes, that motion is approved. Thank you, Dr. Boggs.
Do you want this
Tracy,
back
for your
then?
work.
Yes, please.
Mr. Go-Chair.
I took a photocopy of it.
Yes.
So.
All right, so
Yeah.
it came out this week, and I got to read an article in the paper about the HR study we had done, right?
I memorized.
We have a roadmap for what we're thinking we want to do with some of those findings.
I think they said they were gonna help us develop a roadmap.
Oh,
Yes.
We have one
Yeah.
more meeting left
Gotcha.
with our personnel policy to finalize. There was a few last minute policies we wanted them to kind of bring back that we could shuffle around and decide what to add. I think we were looking at a PTO based system where we've been at vacation, sick, personal, all these different, we were trying to do maybe a combined personal time off, so that's the last thing they were gonna add, and then as we had that meeting, we would put everything in. I think we already have it out to the group now for anyone to put their track changes in, so we can have those talked about, and then probably in August, when we bring that for adoption, will probably be a roadmap, kind of where we should go next, and what we should be looking at, so. Anything else for the board? Any commissioners have anything else? All right, this meeting is adjourned.